The old house stood on a hill overlooking the town, its silhouette a dark omen against the moonlit sky. A grand manor, once magnificent, now weathered and forlorn, its windows like hollow eyes staring into the void. This was Ravenwood Manor, and to Amelia and David, it promised a fresh start, a chance to escape their past. They saw potential beneath the dust and decay, a chance to build a life together amidst the whispers of the past. Ignorant of the shadows lurking within, they stepped across the threshold, their laughter echoing eerily in the silent halls. Little did they know, Ravenwood had other plans, its dark history waiting to be unearthed. The first few days were consumed by unpacking and settling in, the creaking floors and whispering walls their constant companions. They discovered hidden nooks and crannies, each one whispering tales of bygone eras and forgotten souls. A chill lingered in the air, even as summer sun drenched the grounds, an unnatural cold that seeped into their bones. Amelia dismissed it as the house adjusting, its old bones groaning under the weight of time and secrets. David, however, felt a shiver down his spine, a sense of unease he couldn't shake off, as if unseen eyes were watching. One evening, as they sat by the fireplace, a portrait above the mantel caught Amelia's eye, its presence almost palpable. It depicted a stern-faced man, his eyes seeming to follow her every move, a silent guardian of the manor's secrets. "He looks familiar," she murmured, her brow furrowed, a sense of recognition tugging at her memory. David shrugged, attributing it to her imagination. Yet the unease lingered. Yet, as the fire crackled and shadows danced, they both felt a presence in the room, cold and unseen, like a breath on the back of their necks. That night, Amelia woke with a start, her heart racing in the oppressive darkness. A name echoed in the darkness, whispered on the wind, sending chills down her spine. It was the same name she had seen on an old letterhead while unpacking, Jonathan Ravenwood, a name that seemed to pulse with malevolence. She sat up in bed, her heart pounding, the silence around her thick and suffocating. The room was ice cold, and the hairs on the back of her neck stood on end, as if touched by unseen fingers. David slept soundly beside her, oblivious to the fear that had gripped her heart, the darkness around them alive with unseen terrors. Morning brought sunlight and a sense of normalcy. Amelia tried to shake off the unease from the previous night, attributing it to the strangeness of the new house. As they explored the grounds, they discovered a sprawling garden, now overgrown and wild. A sense of melancholy hung heavy in the air, as if the garden mourned its former glory. Back inside, David noticed a faint scratching sound coming from the attic. Curiosity piqued, he grabbed a lantern and climbed the creaky stairs. The attic was dark and dusty, filled with forgotten relics and cobwebs. As he stepped further in, the scratching grew louder, accompanied by a low, guttural growl. Suddenly, a dark figure darted past him, disappearing into the shadows. David froze, his heart pounding in his chest. He had seen it only for a fleeting moment, but it was enough to send shivers down his spine. It was unlike anything he had ever seen before, a chilling apparition that seemed to melt into the darkness. Fear gnawed at David's resolve. He stumbled back, dropping the lantern in his haste. The flame flickered and died, plunging him into absolute darkness. Panic surged through him as he fumbled for the doorknob, his mind racing with terrifying possibilities. He had to get out, to reach Amelia. Amelia, hearing the commotion, rushed to the attic. She found David pale and shaken, his voice trembling as he described what he had seen. Skeptical yet concerned, she grabbed another lantern and insisted they investigate together. They moved cautiously through the cluttered attic, the air thick with dust and the lingering memory of fear. In a dusty corner, hidden beneath a moth-eaten tapestry, they stumbled upon an old wooden chest. It was ornately carved, but time had worn down its once gleaming surface. Curiosity overriding their apprehension, they heaved it open. Inside, they found a treasure trove of the past old photographs, yellowed letters, and a leather-bound journal. The journal belonged to Jonathan Ravenwood, the man in the portrait. His elegant script painted a chilling picture of life at the manor. He wrote of strange occurrences, shadows moving in the night, and whispered voices that haunted his dreams. His words spoke of a growing madness, a darkness that consumed him. Section 4, the haunting escalates, a desperate struggle. As they delved deeper into Jonathan's journal, the paranormal activity intensified. Doors slammed shut on their own, objects moved mysteriously, and disembodied voices whispered their names in the dead of night. Fear became a constant companion, a shadow that followed them through the darkened halls of Ravenwood Manor. One evening, as Amelia sat reading Jonathan's journal, she felt a cold breath on her neck. She turned slowly, her heart pounding in her chest, and saw him. Jonathan Ravenwood stood in the doorway, his eyes burning with a cold, malevolent light. His spectral hand reached out towards her, his touch sending a wave of icy terror through her veins. Amelia screamed, scrambling back from the apparition. David rushed in, but the ghostly figure of Jonathan Ravenwood had vanished as quickly as it had appeared. The room was silent, save for the sound of their ragged breathing. The encounter left them shaken, their denial crumbling in the face of undeniable evidence. Ravenwood Manor was indeed haunted, and they were trapped within its clutches. Section 5. Trapped, a race against time. The line between reality and nightmare blurred. The house seemed to press in on them, its shadows alive with unseen menace. Sleep offered no escape, haunted by vivid nightmares of Jonathan Ravenwood and the secrets that clung to him. They were prisoners in their own home, their sanctuary turned into a cage. Desperation fueled their search for answers. They pored over historical records, local legends, anything that could shed light on the darkness that consumed Ravenwood Manor. The truth, when they uncovered it, was more horrifying than anything they could have imagined. Jonathan, driven mad by the spirits that haunted the manor, had taken his own life within its walls. Their blood ran cold. They were not dealing with a restless spirit, but with a malevolent entity, twisted by despair and rage. Escape was their only option, but the house seemed determined to keep them trapped within its grasp. Doors slammed shut before them, windows refused to open, and the air grew thick with an oppressive dread.